I'm William Wells, and today we're visiting with Gladys Harrington. What year were you born?
1901.
1901. That puts you up there pretty much of a senior citizen.
Yeah.
Tell us a little about your early life.
We lived on, it was Main Street. It's on Avenue K now. And that house has since burned. And so Plano, of course, was small then. Our telephone number was 1-2.
Tell me a little about your mother.
She was born in Plano during the war, Civil War. And then, of course, when she married, she left Plano. And then we moved back after my father died, and we've been here ever since. And she was 92 when she died.
Her maiden name was Haggard.
Yeah, Nanny Haggard. She was the second child that was born. And Aunt Molly was born first, and then Mama. And so anyway, everybody called her the, happy lady, because she was always in good humor. She liked everybody. If she didn't like them, we never did know it. She never did talk about anybody.
I remember.
Yeah. And they called her the lavender lady, because she always wore one shade of purple, different shades. And when we were in a little town, and we had two shops that sold ready-to-wear clothes, so anytime they get any dress in that was lavender, they'd call her and say, "Miss Bishop, we've got your dress in now." And the thing of it was, she always bought them. And if she decided later she didn't want them, I had to take them back. And I said, "Mama, don't buy everything," and make me take it back. Every once in a while, somebody would say, "Well, what did you do for entertainment?" Well, we had a movie, and we were beginning to get cars, and we'd go riding on Sunday afternoon and take pictures. And we were busy. And, we worked in those days. When we got home from school, we all had jobs to do. We didn't just sit, They called the school the Spanish school. A lot of people thought it was built like the built Spanish buildings in those days.
I remember that building.
Yeah, we had fire drills on a silo that was built on that side, and that was fun to come down. Cause
you slide down that silo?
Oh yeah, and if you were on the third floor when they gave the drill, they'd pile in on you. If you'd gotten on the second grade, we just all piled in.
Was it kind of spiral?
Yeah, it was.
Like a slide.
Yeah, and it was enclosed. We were enclosed.
Great fun.
Yeah, it was fun, we thought. And one thing I often think about this school, the creeks that they covered up, on the way to the concrete mall, and there's a bridge goes there, and Aunt Annabelle lived up there, south of that. And I used to skate on that creek. It would freeze over hard enough in the winter that we'd skate on it.
On Spring Creek?
Yeah. And it never freezes that much nowadays. Too many houses warm the atmosphere, I guess. And but I often think about that. Of course, we skated with our shoes, but we just skate on that like it was a skating rink.
Gladys, let's visit a little bit about the farm life. I know you lived out on Parker Road or close to Preston. Tell us a little about some of the things out there.
My husband and I moved in the old Harrington home place when we'd been married 2 years. It's on Preston Road. I never had lived on a farm till I married, so I loved it. And we farmed with mules then. Later on, he got tractors instead of the mules. And of course, we had our cows and we had pigs. And the children used to come see me from school and said, how did the Depression affect you all? And how did you live during that time? And I said, well, it happened. I didn't even know we had a Depression, because I bought one good dress in the summer and one in the winter. And I did the same during the Depression. And we raised our meat and we raised our garden, And so we just lived, like we always did. And I said it didn't bother me at all. But I said it did bother the people that were being paid a salary in town,
You remember the first automobile that you saw?
The wheels were like buggy wheels. And yeah, I remember that real well. And we had that car. And I remembered it. Then he later got a Studebaker, but that first one I remember real well. And of course, I didn't drive till I was 11 when he died, and so I didn't drive till a good many years after that. I never will forget, my brother taught me to drive, and I put the car up, and instead of putting my foot on the brake, I put it on the gas, and I backed out of the garage and missed the bridge. One wheel, so I was hanging there. And so he had to rescue me. So I remember that real well.
I want to talk to you a little about the libraries that you helped start. Tell us a little about it. And I know everybody in Plano, even though they just moved in recently, they'll know that we've got a Gladys Harrington library. Tell us a little about it.
We operated on a shoestring and very little money. And the county was supposed to give us money, and so they did. They gave us about $50 a year. And then they finally came on till one day they were going to give us $2,000 a year. And I couldn't believe it. And I said, when are you going to give it to us? And they said, when you want it. I said, right now. We moved in the old telephone building. And so, I thought, gee, that would be the very place for us. So I told my son, I said, do you think we could get that building? He said, I didn't know you wanted it. He said, I'll see if I can for you. So he asked the man that was president of the telephone company what they were going to do with it, and they were going to tear it down. And he said, if she can talk the city into paying the taxes on it for 2 years, she can have it for 2 years. So they let us have it for 2 years. And different groups came in. One put the Rotary Club that Tom Harrington belonged to, and at the furniture store, put linoleum down. The Lions Club built some shelves for us, and different ones did different things. And you know, the man of the Chamber of Commerce that was the director then gave me the nicest compliment I ever received in my life. He introduced me to his secretary one time. We had a fair going, and I came and he introduced me to his secretary. And he says, anything that's worth anything at all in Plano, Gladys started. I said, that's the nicest compliment I ever had. I loved to work at the telephone office. And I'd go by, you know, and on the way home from school. And if I didn't get home when Mama thought I was, she'd pick up the phone and I'd answer. And she'd say, well, I was trying to locate you. And I said, well, I'm here. So when the war was over, they called me and they said, Gladys, can you go to the telephone office and work a while? And I said, yeah. So I went, and they said, well, the war is being declared over. And says, when we're going to ring the city bells, fire bells, and everything, and I know everybody in town will call and want to know what it is. And I said, okay. So that's what they did when they rang, you know, everything flopped. So they'd say, what's happening? And I said, the war is over. And then I'd go to another one. But that was a highlight of my life, to tell them that the war was over. I had a brother over there.
World War I.
World War I, yeah. So anyway, that was nice to be able to tell them the war was over.
Sure been a pleasure for me visiting with you today, and we enjoyed it. And we look forward to you being around a long time yet. Me too. So.
Thank you.